Quast, how do you know the defendant?
I know the defendant from the homeless shelter in Bemidji, where I used to stay.
What was she doing?
She was at the homeless shelter also.
When was that?
Back in August of last year.
How long had you been at the shelter?
I was there for almost 6 months.
And how long were you there?
I was at the shelter only a couple of weeks. Actually, I had gotten there in the middle of September.
When did you move out of the shelter?
I moved out of the shelter and moved to a family shelter that was more adequate for my children in October.
In September, when you moved into the shelter, did you have your children with you?
Yes, I did.
Had your children been in foster care?
Yes, they have.
From when to when?
They took my children from me September 17th, 2015. I got them back
September 2015.
Yep.
And when were they returned?
September 2016.
So they were in foster care for a year?
Yes.
When you got the children back, then you moved into a family shelter?
Yes.
In October. And how long were you in the family shelter?
Until December.
And then where did you go?
I got a place of residence.
How?
I got a subsidized voucher through the county that I am in and qualified to move into a home with my children.
Who pays the rent?
I pay a portion and then the state pays a portion.
From what source of income do you pay?
Oh, I get Social Security disability.
What's the nature of your disability?
I have mental health issues as well as physical issues. And then my son also gets disability as well.
So you don't work?
No.
And how many children do you have?
I have 3.
How old are they?
11, 8, and 11 months.
Is it your 8-year-old who has disability?
Yes, it is.
Who is this gentleman?
This is my boyfriend of 8 years.
Is he the father of the 11-month-old?
Yes, he is.
Was he living with you in the shelter?
Yes, he was.
Does he work?
Yes, he does.
What kind of work does he do?
He works with windows in Bemidji.
You moved into the basement of her house?
No,
A
I was
room?
renting out a room from her
Starting when?
in March of this year.
Had you been in the shelter until that time?
No, I was working. I'm an ice guide up on Red Lake in Minnesota, and I got off work and moved in with the plaintiff, and I put all my.
Just a second. She has a boyfriend.
Yes.
How did you contact her about renting a room?
Before I went to work last year, I left my stuff at my pickup because my pickup wouldn't start going into work. So when I was
Before
going,
you went to work
Yes.
last year?
Yes.
Month and year?
December of 16.
December of 2016,
Yes.
your truck wouldn't start.
Yes.
So you left your stuff in your truck.
Yes.
Your stuff meaning your clothes and everything that you had,
For
your
work.
belongings.
Yes.
And where did you leave the truck?
At her residence
Why?
because it wouldn't start. The day I had to go to work, my boss wanted me there that day.
Just a minute. Well, did you ask her if you could leave your truck
Yes.
there? And she said, okay.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I went to work last season. I got done working. Then I moved back into Bemidji into her residence.
So you asked her to rent a room? Or
Yes.
to rent a room. Now, this lady doesn't do anything for nothing. So how much did she charge you to rent a room?
$3,000.
Did you give her the $3,000?
Yes, I did.
In cash?
Yes, I did.
Show me where you got it from.
I don't have any proof that I gave her the money.
When you came back to her residence, was your truck still not running?
Yes, it was not running.
Did you get it to run?
Yes, I did.
How did you get back to her residence?
My boss gave me a ride back to her residence.
At some point, you left her residence.
Yes.
Where was your truck?
I drove it away.
When did you drive it away?
In August, when I moved out.
So you lived there from March to
Yes.
August.
Yes.
And why did you leave in August? Now your truck is running.
Because she told me she wanted me to vacate her home.
Great. And you left.
Yes.
What items, Mr. Quast, do you allege that the defendant has that belongs to you?
She doesn't have them anymore.
Great. So you have them back?
Yes, I do.
Terrific. So that we're not talking about any property, we're talking about now slash tires.
Okay.
She gave her property back to you, then I don't have to deal with it. Now we're talking about slash tires. When did she slash
She
the
did
tires?
not give my property back, though.
Well, where's your property?
She threw it away.
Oh, what property did she throw away?
All this property I have here.
As far as I'm concerned, you should have taken anything that you wanted. You had a truck. I would have if I got the truck running. She didn't call the police and they were chasing you, were they? Chasing you?
No.
So anything you left behind is junk. You move out in August, you take your stuff with you. Why didn't you?
Because I couldn't fit it all. I couldn't bring it to where my new residence.
Oh, well, that's
'Cause
your problem. That would be your problem.
Yes, it is.
So now we're down to slash tires.
Mm-hmm.